dense, foreboding forest, shrouded in mist and silence, four friends named Emily, Mark, Sarah, and Jake embarked on a camping trip. They sought the thrill of adventure and the camaraderie that only the great outdoors could provide. Little did they know that their journey into the heart of the forest would soon turn into a nightmarish ordeal. As dusk settled, the group set up their tents in a small clearing, surrounded by ancient trees that seemed to whisper secrets of forgotten times. The air became thick with an unsettling tension as ominous clouds gathered overhead. Unperturbed, they lit a campfire and shared stories, laughter echoing through the silent woods. As the flames flickered and cast eerie shadows, the temperature plummeted, and an otherworldly wind swept through the trees, creating an unsettling symphony. The friends huddled closer to the fire, trying to shake off the growing unease. Mark, an avid storyteller, decided to entertain the group with a tale of the forest's dark history. He spoke of a curse that supposedly haunted these woods, a curse that awakened malevolent spirits and twisted creatures after sunset. The others chuckled nervously, dismissing the story as pure fiction. Little did they know that the line between reality and fantasy in the forest was thin and fraying. The night wore on, and the forest came alive with unsettling sounds, creaking branches, distant whispers, and an occasional rustle in the underbrush. Sarah couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, and Emily swore she saw fleeting shadows among the trees. As the wind howled, rain began to pour from the sky, dousing their fire. The friends rushed to secure their tents as the temperature continued to drop. With each passing moment, the forest seemed to close in around them, a living entity with a sinister agenda. Suddenly, a blood-curdling howl pierced the night. The friends froze, exchanging fearful glances. They convinced themselves it was just a wild animal, but the unsettling atmosphere lingered. Shadows danced in the darkness, and the undergrowth seemed to writhe with hidden terrors. In the pitch-black forest, their flashlights flickered, casting long, distorted shadows. The friends stumbled through the underbrush, lost and disoriented, the trees closing in around them like ancient sentinels of doom. Panic set in as they realized they were no longer alone. Strange, phosphorescent eyes glowed in the shadows, and guttural growls echoed through the night. The friends quickened their pace, their nerves fraying with each step. Unseen creatures brushed against them in the darkness, sending shivers down their spines. As they reached a clearing, the rain intensified, turning the forest floor into a muddy quagmire. The group trudged forward, desperate to escape the growing nightmare. Yet the forest seemed to conspire against them, twisting paths and distorting landmarks. Sarah screamed as an unseen force pulled her into the shadows. The others rushed to her aid, but she was gone, swallowed by the malevolent darkness. Fear gripped the remaining trio as they stumbled through the haunted forest, pursued by unseen horrors. Exhausted, terrified, and soaked to the bone, they reached the edge of the forest at dawn. The rain subsided, revealing the grim reality of their situation. Sarah was lost, and the forest retained its secrets. The friends, forever changed by the horrors they witnessed, emerged from the woods, haunted by the memories of that fateful night. Their once unbreakable bond shattered, and the forest, cloaked in mist, reclaimed its silence, leaving only echoes of distant whispers and the lingering presence of unspeakable terrors. The cursed forest had claimed its victims, leaving behind a chilling tale of horror and despair. The surviving trio, Mark, Emily, and Jake, stumbled out of the sinister forest, haunted by the traumatic events they had endured. Their once vibrant spirits were now replaced with a heavy, lingering dread. As they emerged into the open, the world outside the woods felt alien, as if the forest's malevolence had seeped into their very souls. They stumbled upon a dilapidated cabin at the forest's edge, seeking refuge from the lingering nightmare. Inside, the air was thick with an oppressive stillness. Dust-covered furniture hinted at a time when life existed within these walls, but now the cabin stood as a forgotten relic in the shadow of the cursed forest. Despite their exhaustion, sleep eluded them. Every creak and groan of the old cabin echoed with the memories of the forest. The trio exchanged nervous glances, haunted by the loss of their friend, Sarah, and the horrors that lurked in the darkness. As night fell once again, the wind outside howled like a mournful symphony. Shadows danced on the cabin walls, taking grotesque forms that seemed to mock the fragile sanity of the survivors. Mark, tormented by guilt over Sarah's disappearance, suggested they return to the forest to find her. Emily and Jake hesitated, remembering the terror they had barely escaped. However, the bond of friendship and the gnawing uncertainty about Sarah's fate compelled them to venture back into the cursed woods. Armed with flashlights and a mixture of fear and determination, they retraced their steps. The forest, however, had changed. The trees leaned in menacingly, their branches forming grotesque shapes that seemed to reach out for the intruders. Unearthly whispers surrounded them, and the distant howls grew louder, like a warning from the heart of the forest. As they delved deeper, the trio stumbled upon an ancient, overgrown graveyard hidden beneath the gnarled trees. Moss-covered gravestones bore names that were long forgotten, and the air was thick with the weight of the departed. It was here that they found a weathered journal, its pages filled with desperate scribbles of those who had succumbed to the forest's curse. The journal spoke of a ritual, a way to appease the vengeful spirits and escape the forest's grasp. Fueled by a desperate hope, the friends followed the instructions, their surroundings growing more ominous with each step. The wind whispered ancient incantations, and the shadows seemed to reach out with malevolent intent. As they completed the ritual in the heart of the forest, a momentary silence fell. The wind ceased, and the shadows retreated. Hope flickered in the eyes of the survivors, but it was short-lived. The ground trembled, and from the depths of the forest emerged grotesque, otherworldly creatures, guardians of the cursed realm. The friends, paralyzed by fear, watched as the creatures closed in. The ground beneath them cracked open, revealing a chasm leading to the underworld. The creatures dragged them into the abyss, their screams echoing through the forest. The cursed woods, having claimed its victims once more, returned to its quiet malevolence. The cabin at the forest's edge stood as a silent witness to the tragedy. The journal, now open and abandoned, revealed a chilling truth. Those who sought escape from the forest only became entwined in its eternal curse. As the sun rose, casting a feeble light over the desolate landscape, the forest embraced its silence once more, leaving behind only the memory of the friends who dared to defy its malevolent secrets. The cursed woods waited patiently, its hunger for souls never satisfied, as the ancient trees whispered of the doomed souls lost to its timeless grasp. In the unforgiving forest, Mark, Emily, and Jake, haunted by nightmares, attempted a ritual to escape the curse. Instead, unearthly creatures emerged, dragging them into the abyss. The cursed woods reclaimed its silence, leaving behind only echoes of lost souls and a dilapidated cabin as a silent witness to their tragic fate.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe.